All of which brings us back to Jimmy Kimmel. Because, look, it is not news that the administration's been wanting to get rid of shows like his. In fact, it's such an open secret that last Sunday, when we won an Emmy for writing, one of our writers opened his thank you speech with a line that was followed by a camera cutaway that now feels pretty prescient.
Thank you so much. We share this category. We are honored to share it with all writers of late-night political comedy while that is still a type of show that's allowed to exist.
Yes. Yeah, that is pretty eerie. Now, obviously, our writer Daniel did not know the future. On some level, that is just a coincidence, like when a young Shirley Temple accepted an Oscar in 1935 by saying, "Thank you very much for this." On January 28th, 1986, the Spaceship Challenger will suffer a catastrophic failure, killing 7 people. You know, kind of spooky stuff. But it's not just a coincidence, because everyone knew the administration had it in for Kimmel. Even Daniel knew that, and to be honest, he doesn't know a ton of stuff. 2 weeks ago, he was arguing that Alfred Molina is more famous than Bad Bunny. He's a very good writer, but he's wrong about a lot of things, and for what it's worth, he will never be speaking publicly on our behalf ever again, because we're now terrified he's going to drop another fucked-up fortune cookie. But the pretext that's been used to indefinitely suspend Kimmel's show is just laughably weak, because while you may have seen headlines saying he got in trouble for remarks about Charlie Kirk himself or even remarks about his death, that's not strictly accurate. The comments that got him in trouble weren't about Kirk. In fact, Kimmel's first comments after his murder were a post reading, "Can we just for one day agree that it is horrible and monstrous to shoot another human? On behalf of my family, we send love to the Kirks and to all the children, parents and innocents who fall victim to senseless gun violence." What got Kimmel in trouble was a passing reference on Monday night. Now, at the time, there were still rumours flying around regarding the killer's motivations, including that he was on the far right, something that Kimmel alluded to like this.
We hit some new lows over the weekend with the MAGA gang desperately trying to characterize this kid who murdered Charlie Kirk as anything other than one of them and doing everything they can to score political points from it.
Yeah, that was it. Weirdly, I was actually a guest on his show that night. And I didn't even register that comment, and that's only partly because I wasn't really paying attention. And I'm not alone in that. After Kimmel's suspension, many struggled to pick the offensive line out of his monologue, as YouTube is filled with comments under the video like, "I'm still waiting for the offensive part," "What did he say that got him fired? I'm rewatching the last week of episodes and haven't heard it yet," and one viewer from the Netherlands saying, "It is even in the Dutch news. With a link to this, I watch this almost every day for a year now to stay covered for American news with a humoristic flow."